Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So, next project on the list of things to do. You don't know how bad I wish it was this. I want to start this thing up so bad. I gotta mount it to something and fire it up. But that's not what we're doing next. So, because I am apparently OCD about certain things, I need to redo a section of the T-38 canopy. So, the biggest issue here was that I did not have the forward fuselage bolted to the rear fuselage when I remounted this rear frame section. And you can see how it doesn't really fit. It's got a gap and it's got a step. And you can see how the angles don't match. And this rear cockpit section should be kind of tapered down. And it should meet up with this back here. So it's all wrong. It's been bothering me ever since I finished it. So I need to cut that section of canopy out, break this off, remount it, or remake it out of something else. And then I need to make a new, smaller nose gear door. If I have time, which I probably won't, I'm going to see about making speed brakes. But that'll probably be some other time. I have an event next weekend, and I don't think it's going to be done in time for that. I might be able to get speed brakes done before I go to Arizona in the middle of March. But the idea behind that event, well, next weekend's event, I'm going to take the P-59, T-38, and the MB-339, assuming all goes well in the maiden Sunday. Arizona, I'm hoping to take the X1 as well as all those. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room. We shall see. I have to fix the nose gear door on this. It broke off on the lake bed forever ago. So, that's where we're at. It's just, most people probably wouldn't care about that little thing, but it's driving me crazy. So, I got to get that beast down, redo that. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I'm thinking maybe I can finish it up by tomorrow sometime. So if that's the case, maybe I can get speed brakes done, but we'll see. So yay for OCD. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't seen this movie, you're doing yourself a big misjustice.
Hey, Ridley, you got any feelings? You know, even
The right
before you
stuff.
hit Mach 2, she's going to be mighty unforgiving on you. So just take it easy. Ring her out a little bit this time.
Classic.
Yeah, I got this stick.
All right, so I've committed myself. I chopped off the canopy. I actually cleaned up pretty well. I think this is going to be, I don't want to say quick, but not too bad. So this is the structure I had put in place before. You can see here, this lip, I was able to trim this and just peel off the old section of canopy. I trimmed it down here, and you can see I got a little ledge, so I'm going to glue to that as like a flange. I just need to make a new rear section, and yep. Look at that. Come on now.
Number 3 coming on now.
Copyright infringement. What a great movie. Alright, so it's easy to forget just how ridiculous this model is. That is not a small airplane, and the wing of the T-38 is very small. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get this rear section made, and this might go pretty quick, actually. I might actually have this mostly hammered out tonight, which would be fantastic, because I got lots of stuff I want to get done, if you know what I mean. So I decided to just go ahead and reuse the original aft section. What I did was I chopped some section out of it and lowered the whole thing down. Obviously I have to do some filling in back here, which is fine because it kind of had a weird transition anyway. So yeah, I'm not really worried about adding a bunch of Bondo. Weight wise, it's an ounce on a 50-pound airplane. So anyways, I'm going to fill this in, bodywork all this. I'll cut a new canopy out, glue it down, do a little bodywork around it, paint, it's done. So not too bad. I think I'm going to have most of it done tonight. And I'm already liking the look. I can tell it's going to look better. So Anyways, yes, I know. I got problems. That's okay, don't we all? So let me get this thing bondoed up, and yep, we'll see how it goes. So I got the bondo work pretty much done. No biggie. Nice tight gap now. So before I had that big huge gap on it, this whole entire hatch and the spine needs to be bodyworked at some point. I do plan to repaint this thing someday. I'll address all that stuff then. For right now, I'm just fixing what I can fix and going from there. So I might fix some of this stuff now. It's not too difficult to fix some of it, but the hatch doesn't fit worth a crap. It's just warped over the years. I mean, this thing is 12 years old now. So anyways, yeah, that's the bulk of the bodywork. So now I'll get the window cut out and glued on. I'll bodywork around that, finish any little small bodywork that needs to get fixed around here and around here, and that'll be it. So yeah, not too bad. All right, so I got sorry, TV's loud. So I got it all sorted out. The transition from the canopy to the hatch is a little messed up still. It's kind of, but it's a whole lot better than it was, so I'm definitely much happier with it. And it's changed the contour of the canopy. It's supposed to be tapered. It's supposed to be shorter in the back than it is in the front, and it was kind of parallel as it went across. Now it's got a little bit of taper to it that it needed, and I think it's going to look a lot nicer. So again, this thing isn't perfect, but it's going to do the job. So yeah, now this is my test piece here. I'm just trimming it out to make sure it fits right. I may end up using this one, or I might just make a new one, just make sure it's not scratched. But obviously, still got the film still on it. But anyways, let's get this puppy glued on. So in preparation for speed brakes, I've done a 2-layer layup of carbon cloth to strengthen this area here. This is kind of like the base for where the servos will go for the speed brakes, and to stiffen up the area once I cut out where the speed brakes are. So anyways, that's in cure, and I put some glass in the backside. I kind of want to like paint this like all black or something. It just looks, the inside of this model looks like crap. So I want to kind of clean it up, make it look a little more presentable. It's like just slowly getting better and better over time, which, you know. Anyways, yeah, the canopy's glued on. Obviously, I still have the protective films on it, so I just cut away the areas that were getting glued and peeled those sections off. But yeah, it went on really nice, and this thing is way strong now. So anyways, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trim back a little bit more of this stuff, mask around everything, and then I'll do a little bit of body work, and this thing's ready for paint. So that really was not too bad. And I used a little bit different plastic, and the other one kind of had a little bit of a dip in it just because it was so thin. This one does too, but it's a lot less than the other one had. So anyways, the transition feels almost perfect already, so it's not going to take much work to get this all body worked in. I got a little more sanding to do on this part of it, but yeah, it's looking a lot better, so I'm excited about that. So taking a break from aviation movies, classic wedding singer. Anyways, yeah, just a little bit of body work now, and I'm gonna put some paint on this puppy tonight. It's already, it's 11:30, but I had some caffeine earlier, so I think we're gonna be all right. A little bit of Bondo, a little bit of putty glaze to fill it in real nice. I'll mask everything up, and I'll just spray this area here with some rattle can, and then tomorrow, once it's fully dried, I'll come back and do some weathering and try and make it kind of match. I never did do any weathering on the new paint that I put on here. I need to draw on the lines for the canopy frames and all that, and I need to dirty it up a little bit, because getting in and out of the cockpits, you know, these things get really smudgy and dirty along here, and grease and stuff from the hinges and all that stuff. So anyways, I'm going to dirty it up, kind of blend it all together, make it look a little bit nicer again. So anyways, this thing is such a beast. It's kind of ridiculous. And I hope it lasts a long time, knock on wood. It's getting better and better. The the longer I have it, the more upgrades I do and things I improve on it, and it just keeps getting better and better. So now I just jinxed it. But let me get this bodywork done, and we'll finish up these canopies. All right, there you have it. Really wasn't too bad. Didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. I figured this would be a couple-day process, but I think I got about, I don't know, 6 hours or so in it. Still drying, obviously. Still have to paint the light gray colored seal around the window, but yeah, super happy with the fit and the shape. It's a little kinked still, but not nearly as bad as it was before, so definitely excited about how it looks. That's my head. Too many airplanes hanging in here. All right, so yeah, so we'll finish up tomorrow. And geez, just gave my landing gear on my P-59 a good test. So once this is cured, we'll trim that up and then see about doing some speed brakes. Shouldn't take too long. I wasn't planning on flying the T-38 and the MB-339 this weekend, but since I have the T-38 down, that's half the battle, is getting it down off its spot up here. So I think I'm going to take it out, and I was working on my flap elevator mix. Since the CG has changed a little bit since I did the cockpits and stuff, I'm still kind of figuring out what I like. So anyways, I think I'm going to take it out and kind of dial it in a little bit. Just put a couple flights on it. Make sure it's ready to go for next weekend's event and the following event in a couple of weeks after that. So anyways, yeah, we'll see you guys in the morning after this is all dried up. Okay, so it's the next morning. Pretty excited with how it turned out. Definitely looks nice. This material is a little bit thicker material, and it definitely didn't bow as much as the other stuff. Technically, it's not supposed to be a straight across piece, but it's really close to being straight. There's hardly any curvature to the top of this shape on the real one. So this front section obviously has a lot more curve to it, but this one should have a small amount of bow, but it's almost nothing. So that's why I just went with just a sheet. Anyways, turned out great. I'm actually really excited with how that looks. So the fitment, really nice. So yeah, I just got to weather a little bit. I need to paint the insides of the frames a little bit now, get some black in there and kind of hide some of that stuff. But anyways, I do need to trim down the rear bulkhead on my cockpit so it fits in there, because now it's been lowered down so much. So I mean, it's probably 3/8 of an inch lower than it used to be. So anyways, pretty excited with how it looks. Definitely, I think it was worth the effort. I know most people probably wouldn't have cared, but it was driving me nuts. So it's really nice. So I just need to kind of do some panel lines, weather it up, blend it all together, and that'll be done. So need to make this lower nose gear door. I need to trim the carbon, which is still pretty green. So green's a term we use in the composite world. It means it's not fully cured yet. It's sort of cured, but not really. But the good part about when it's green is it's easy to cut, so I can just cut it with a blade really easy. So I'll get that cut. I'm going to set it up with the heater so I get this stuff cooked off so I can actually work with it. While that's cooking off, I'll finish the cockpit, do this little door, and this will all be ready to go. Okay, so I put some panel lines on it and did a little weathering to kind of tie it all together and make it all kind of match. So turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Once this thing's outside, most of this weathering washes out in the sunlight anyways. In low light you can see it, but when it's out in the direct sun, the white is so bright that you really can't even tell. But I'm definitely stoked with the profile change in the canopy and the fit. Super nice now. So anyways, stoked on that. So I got to do the nose door, and get my cockpit to fit, and then if I have time, speed brakes. Alright guys, so I'm working on the nose gear. This section right here has been repaired a ton of times because the little small door that I had on here was just hinged right here and then pulled closed with a bungee. And so when the nose gear would be out and it would bang back, it would, because there was a little block here to hold the angle of the door, if you know you're hitting crack stuff in the runway, it would bang back and cause the door to smash into this. A number of times the hinge broke off and then it would be hanging on by the bungee cord and just slapping against the body, and there's all kinds of dings and stuff. So I kind of like fixed it crappy before with like, I would like sort of fix the dent and then just put a piece of vinyl over it or whatever. So now I've completely sanded everything off, filled in these big dents with some epoxy so I can Bondo it. So I'm going to Bondo all this. But the T-38 actually has a super unique door, and I've never, I always just had it just a regular piece of door like this. But the real T-38 door is actually a vent for the electronic compartment that's around the nose gear. So it's a heat exit, or for cooling air to exit out. So it's a really interesting door, and it'll be like this. But basically, let me open this up, put this all back. But basically, this little door, when it's hinged, fits in like that, and so that becomes the air exit for that bay. So I didn't quite get the angle right. I think it needs a little more angle on that piece, but it's sort of late now. I'm probably just gonna send it. But anyways, yeah, so it's a neat little door. So like I said, it'll be like this, and then obviously it closes before this, so it actually fits inside of here like that. So makes a neat little door. And I've kind of always wanted to do a scale door. I took a bunch of pictures of the real one at Pima when I was there. You guys can get an idea. That's how it looks when it's closed. So pretty much done with it. This didn't even take very long. I had some fiberglass sheet material that I had laid up a while ago for the smaller T-38's main gear doors, and I just cut it with some scissors and glued it together with super glue. So anyways, pretty cool. I'm going to use a couple of large hinges here. I'm actually going to spring the door closed because this is going to be a lot of drag that the nose gear is going to have a hard time overcoming to help to pull it closed, along with its own drag and weight, which it now has a Robart metal wheel tire on it, which is quite a bit heavier than what was on there before. So it was having issues. Oops, I just dropped it. It was having issues swinging the nose gear up last time I flew it. I just lubed the unit up and everything. It was getting kind of gummy and sticky, so that was probably a lot of it. But and it was getting caught in this clevis right here for the door, so I kind of did some grinding to get some more room there, and I also loosened and re-tightened the gear with strut pulled this way to kind of get it away from that door when it comes up. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to hinge it with a couple of large Dubro hinges, and then like I said, I'll use a spring in there to actually keep the door closed, and then once this door closes on top of it, it'll keep it from opening up. So you guys will all see when it's all done, but it's going to be a pretty simple mechanism. Alright, so I have the hinges installed and the spring is installed. So we'll open the door up, and like I said, I have it sprung closed, so I need to adjust this door so that way the servo holds it far open. Let's see if I can. Anyways, once I have the servo on and it's pushing out, it'll clear. So I don't know if this will be enough to close it in the airflow. Probably not. So I might still have a bungee on the strut to help pull it closed. But once it is closed, this door closes and locks it in place. So anyways, just got to do some body work now and some fine tuning with the strut and everything else, and this will be done. So okay, so I've developed a system here. I got a bungee to help pull it closed. I got a stopper here to kind of hold the angle on the door, and then I've put this bumper back here for the strut, so that way, because these things when the gear come down, they being with the wind, it pushes it even more, and being a spring air, it already comes down pretty fast, so it kind of slams it against the back, and that's one of the reasons why these doors keep breaking off. So I finally put a bumper on there so it'll hopefully stop it and not cause damage to the structure. But basically that's where we're at. So now let me actuate the cylinder here. Everything pulls closed, gear goes up, and this one will close once the gear's up. Super solid, so yeah, not bad. Just gotta body work it, put a little paint on there, and be on our way. All right, there you have it. Body work's done. Got some rattle can touch up. I still have to come in here and do silver paint on the inside of the door and touch up the strut a little bit, and I'm gonna paint the wheel too. So even though it's aluminum, but they were painted silver. So anyways, turned out pretty sweet. Seems to work properly. So one more item down the checklist. So last upgrade I wanted to do the airplane before a full refinish, which will probably be a year from now, is speed brakes. So that's up next. Okay, so I got the cockpit all back together. I also did the rear view mirrors on the front and the back. See them right in there, and also the compass up on the upper front, the forward frame there. So I got that installed. So that's pretty much it for the cockpit. I don't know if I'm going to do much else. I am having a custom pilot made by Wilson Lee, the correct scale. So these guys are a little bit small. I'm only going to do one for right now because they're pretty expensive. So T-38s flew with one pilot all the time, so no big deal. So I'm going to do one properly sized pilot in the front, and then the guy on the back will come out. But you can see here we got the nose gear door all done. Turned out pretty sweet. I still have to do the panel lines and a little bit of weathering underneath, but definitely digging the profile change on the canopy, and everything's looking pretty good. So see if you can see the profile change a little bit more from this side. Kinda. You guys probably don't know what I'm looking at, but I see it. Anyways, so the composite layup is done on the wing. It's all cured, so I guess we'll see how long it takes to get these speed brakes done. Alright guys, excuse the washer and dryer as always. Alright, so the nose gear and the canopy are all done. So I've switching gears over here to the speed brakes. What I've done here is I've cut out you can see it has some lines drawn in here. Those were not accurate. So what I've done here is I've cut some sections out of the skin, carved down into the foam. I had some carbon fiber plate that a friend gave me forever ago. It's like for making dashboards and stuff. It's, I don't know, about 1/16 of an inch thick, maybe a little bit less. But it's just flat carbon stock, and it actually fits pretty well. So what I did here is I just carved them out. I still have to carve out some spots for the hinges, but see, to hinge these, probably put a couple of stiffeners on them just to keep them from bending. And I think I have an idea how I'm going to hook the servos up. So it'll be one servo per each speed brake, but that's how it's going to work. And yeah, I got the arms off of these for right now because they were in the way, so that's why. But anyways, that's where we're at. And yep, gotta get these things hinged. Alrighty, so I've got the base all done up. I just bonded in a sheet of carbon fiber, that just a 1-ply sheet that I had. I cut it up, glued it in with some epoxy. Here are the speed brakes. See, I used some fiberglass to stiffen them up. Get the large Robart hinges, and then I have the control horn, if that's what you want to call it, with multiple holes set up. Drilled them on at the same time, so they're exactly the same. That way I can, because I don't know exactly how the geometry is going to work out just yet, so I'll have lots of room to adjust the row. So anyways, yeah, just need to glue the hinges in now and then set the servos up, and these will be done once I paint them. So anyways, that's where we're at. So let's keep on cruising. Alright, so the hinges are glued in. Looking good. I got my smart chargers putting in work for tomorrow. It's 10:30 and it's gonna be a late night. All I gotta do is set the servos up now and throw a little bit of paint on here, so we're doing okay. We got all the hard stuff done, so anyways, keep on cruising. There you go. Paint is done. Obviously, still gotta hook up servos, but quick and dirty, and that'll do it. And yeah, the washer and dryer are really going at it tonight, so sorry. 3 kids, 5 people in this house. Lots of clothes. I got the servos all set up on the speed brakes. And did a little weathering on them just to kind of blend them in. I still got to do some weathering on the nose gear, put a couple of panel lines back on it, but it's been a very long day, but long day and a half actually. I have completed all the tasks that I wanted to get done on this thing before all my events started, so super excited with how it turned out. We're gonna fly it in the morning, put a few flights on it, and dial in my flap and elevator mix and see how speed brakes react. But yeah, pretty stoked. Anyways, stay tuned for videos coming up on the MB339 maiden and possibly Bentley's first full turbine flight tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. So anyways, looking forward to getting some more action on the T-38, and can't wait to see the speed brakes, see how they work. I'm sure they'll work sweet. Still playing around with my flap settings. It doesn't like a crazy amount. It balloons a lot, so anyways, that's where we're at. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this T-38 update video, and we'll see you in the next one.